Hello and welcome to the Eye of Kol Koran for the level 8 episode of the Battles of Brother Purple. You will see from our surroundings we are aboard ship setting sail for Sorrowdusk Isle in what's going to be the quest for the Snow Star to finally have a half decent shuriken to wield. That, as I understand it, comes in the quest, the end chain reward. So we'll be looking out for that. A word of apology. I've gone a little bit ahead in the videos, so the comments will relate to earlier ones, the feedback that you've given. Apologies for that. Sometimes I have a bit more time, sometimes less. I like to try and keep the videos to one a day, because otherwise people are just going to think, oh, there's way too many here, something like that. So, what do we have to share this time around? I've had a rejig of the enhancements, which I perhaps should have done sooner. I don't think, as mentioned before, there's any compelling need to go further up here at the moment. That's quite nice. Focus, a bit more melee power and to hit. But it's not make or break, I don't think, especially as we're not running in a group, so nobody else to take advantage of it. Other than that, I think we're the same in there. The big change is the Vistani, and I really would like, having seen the impact it's had, to have gone in here sooner. There's some incidental bits and pieces that aren't terrible. The undead favoured enemy, some PRR and MRR here. I would have actually liked that third one as well, because you'll notice, as well as the defences, immune to fear effects, which we have been hit by in the past. But the main two reasons I went into here, actually there are three, but there are two main ones. Deflect arrows, insanely good. We could have had that as a monk bonus feat, but there are too many compelling other options, I'm afraid. So we're going to have to get it by other means, and this is one of them that I can think of for the moment. In fact, probably the only one in Heroic where we can have it. So I've got that. Taken the liberty of taking the next core. Quick draw we're not bothered about because we've got it anyway in here, I think. Yeah. It's that one. The other one I was really after. And the double strike in there is still very nice, by the way. But the haste boost, very nice to lean on. Things just start melting when you get that. So now if we see a Reaper and we trigger both of those boosts, plus we go on the quick strike, suddenly we're on we've got some more how much double strike have we got now? We've got 12 double strike to start with, plus 30 from the Reaper bonus, 42, plus 25 from the quick strike, testing my basic maths. So every 2 shots in 3 are going to be doubles, and we're going to be hasted, so we're going to be throwing shots in all over the place. Add to that, we're going to be healing from most likely 2 in front of us. It's going to be devastation. Now, I have experimented a little bit with it, and it's very good. So in the short quests, like the Sorrowdusk is, apologies to those of you who don't like the longer videos, by the way, of a chain. We're going to do the Sorrowdusk chain this time around. Just maybe you could just watch the waffle and skip through the chain if it's not your thing. Totally understand that. And just thought for something a bit different, and it's kind of a bit of a crusade now to fetch a half decent shuriken, so I'm not toting these newbie shuriken around. So yes, that's the big change, the haste boost there. Gear wise as well, there's been a big change around for level 8. if I can just press the right button. No, I might as well have a look at where the stats are at. So we see wisdom and strength are still pretty comparable. There's still this this lingering thing in the background. Should we be going into the falconry tree now for wisdom to hit and damage? And for the trance thing, well, the trance thing you need 20 points invested. And looking at this at the moment, if I want to keep, at least at the moment, this in Vistani, we're not going to get 20 points. And would the trance at the moment, which would be +4 maybe to hit and damage, would that make up for losing the haste boost and the double strike and the deflect arrows in here? I'm going to say no. So I don't think it's the right time to swap into there. I mean, we could at some stage just take everything out of here and go with the falconry tree, but I don't think that's right either. I just don't. I'm happy with where we are at the moment, stacking the double strike, using this quick strike. I think what might end up happening, we might end up taking the tier 5s in here at 12, building back up in here in Vistani, and then going in the falconry. Maybe swapping to ocean stands much later than planned. I don't know. Maybe by then I will have the benefit of some of your feedback on that, and we'll see what we end up doing. Speaking of feedback, let's have a look here. Yes, one of the really nice things you folks mentioned is that we can actually, as long as we have the key, like now look, we're sitting on 41 key, we can actually activate both the Fists of Light and, if it's available, the finishing move without being anywhere near combat. At the moment we're generating ki to burn, so instead of messing about with healing potions or using our hands, I can just hit a couple of Fists of Light in between battles, hit the healing key, ideally in between a battle so we're not subject to the Reaper nerf, and get a nice chunk of mana back, provided we have the key available, and we generally do. One battle tends to see us, into the hundreds at the moment, so that's great, and that would be another indication that we're probably ready for dumping the sun stands, which one of the big pullers of that was the plus key on hit and on critical hit, which at the moment we're generating a big surplus, so we can definitely do without that. Thanks for the comment there. We seem to be taking very little, very, very little fall damage, and then even from a big fall. I've been running without feather fall on, and it's just felt really good, the slow fall thing and the way he sort of glides down. He does take 1 or 2 damage from dropping, but from a big height. But no, I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Feywild was the last load of quests we did the complete chain, looked really good doing it, and some of the monk assets were deployed to good effect while we were doing that. The Shuriken were used to get in the witch hunt, to get the witch to come back to us from distance without going and triggering all sorts of other stuff that were around her, so that was nice. I suppose I could have also used Shuriken, maybe I should have done, with the 10,000 stars, to get the fleeing beasties in the needle and the face stack. What I actually did was hammer away with my staff and take advantage of the paralysing triggers to stop the fleeing opponents, and the serious speed that the monk has, which has come in handy on more than one occasion already. Speaking of paralysing, you were right, Doc, about the paralysing on the elemental bloom. It's going off way more than I thought it would, and I'm wondering if maybe that's partly to do with the bewildering thing, because paralysing is on the will save, and the hits from this thing are also draining wisdom on a successful hit. So maybe the two are interlinked. I'm guessing they are, and that's been very successful in the Feywild, especially against what was it? The red caps. The red caps were being paralysed all over the place, so they must have quite a low will save, and that was just great. Made me regret a bit less the loss of the nice ruby of the Snow Peaks that was doing a freezing job for us. This, for comparisons purposes, has been doing a much better job. At least at these lower levels, it's triggering a lot more often. So really happy with that, and more fuel for the argument that if you plan to do a stick life either as a rogue or a monk or whatever, this weapon is a really nice one to have. I don't think I mentioned it drops in the Temple of Evil several different quests. If you look it up on the wiki, you'll find where to search for it. It's really nice to have, and I'm very lucky to have it because, as I said, normally I wouldn't store something like this at all. Gear. Let's have a little look. We've got some tasty, actually I'm saying tasty, it's a mishmash. You can see we've got a sorcery bonus. I've put some Slave Lord sorcery things on because they just happen to be right for what we're looking for, but it is a bit of a mishmash gear-wise. I would have liked, obviously, the Slave Lord's Might bonus for the melee side of things, but that just wasn't going to happen. Speaking of Temple of Evil, a super item there from, I think it's from the first part of the temple, that one. Everything we need. Double strike, deadly, nothing not to like there. And some electric resistance there. We've kept up our pattern of keeping the resistance as high, so we're actually very good for the level. Level 8, 25 or more on excuse me, I'm croaking. On acid, electric and fire, which is great. We've even got Sonic there, not that I particularly wanted it, it just happened to be on this one here. Obviously I'm not interested in the spell side of things, that is there only for the Constitution, which I didn't have on anything else, because I swapped our belt out. I found this in the Fey this time around, and this looks an excellent item for our build. Fury, which we lost from the necklace we had on, but look at the black scale ferocity up there. I think it was you again, Doc, that mentioned the haste potions, which I have totally ignored to my detriment. Well, now killing enemies can cause us to have the benefits of haste, so that's awesome. Not least of which because I don't like just, having to hit the button for the haste potion all the time and carry the things around. Acid resist as well, not bad, although I think we have it somewhere else, and the mythic boost we'll take happily. So that is a super item for the build. Another item I'm sad we've lost was the Lion Heart Ring. Some little nice things on there, but the action boost extra was very nice once we acquired the haste boost. That drops in the Feywild as well, the Lion Ring. Another super item for our healing amp. Mysterious cloaks come from the remnant vendor in the Hall of Heroes, but only on Champion Hunter weekends. And this is extra nice because it's got some stacking stuff there. The positive heal amp is going to stack with every other source of heal amp we've got. We're actually a bit down, I think, on Oh no, we're actually in the same place. We were 139 before, and we're still 139. We've lost 20 from the Asimar tree. I shed everything I could to get into this Vistani, and I think it was the right thing to do. Deflect arrows is very strong, as is the haste boost. I tend to alternate between Reaper's Strike and haste boost for each group, and remembering your advice from the past, why struggle through the longer quests when these are finished? Just get to a shrine and happy days. Where was I? Yeah, Mysterious Cloak. You'll note there's a Sapphire of Heavy Fort on there. Really nice. So our fortification now sitting at 123. Great for the level we're at. Generally speaking, I think people say 10 points of fort for the level is a decent enough guide. Although I think the first 100 are very important, and then the use falls off after that, so people say. Armor class is looking great. I think it was you, Mike, that mentioned that that is linked in some part to the wisdom that we have. Yeah, it's telling us there 9 wisdom bonus. So important to keep the wisdom up, and we will at some stage be switching to wisdom to hit and damage and dropping the strength. So yeah, it's telling us there defense chance at level 66, so it's still a reasonable miss chance, which I don't think we've had. I mean, we have only one martial past life to help the armor class. I don't think we've had at this level anything like as decent a miss chance as that, and we're in robes, so he does have some sources of defense, our monk, although we have lost the blurry item that we were having in the trinket slot. So just quickly, the slave lord's items we've got. That one, concentration, actually is very helpful for us. Completely at random, I haven't crafted that. Acid resistance we've got elsewhere. False life and quality false life are helping. So there it's just for the constitution, and we'll take the sonic resistance, although I'm not sure how much use we'll get from it. That one, Seeker, Quality Fort, Strength are all helping us at the moment. And the Demon Heart Emerald, I think that drops from the dinosaur thing, the Isle of Dread. And I think that, I'm pretty sure that triggers temporary hit points on incoming hits. And we get hit all the time, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. Remember, our staff also can trigger temporary hit points with the body feeder thing, so that could be a nice little layer of defense we've got going there. That was just something I had laying around. Healing amp is on the armor anyway, so that's just doubled up, although it's a bit more, so that's not terrible. Protection, I think we have on the armor too. And Wisdom 5 I don't think we had, so that's for the wisdom. The boots are the same, nice for speed. Now we don't have this time around, or at least not yet, a Sapphire of Snow Peaks slotted, because you'll recall it was in my caster helmet, that Sacrarium Suncatcher that I like to wear until 30 on caster builds. So we're missing that at the moment. Quality Fort we had somewhere else. Sheltering and resistance. Jump is nice. I think jump now will be up towards the... Is that right? 59? Yeah. Wow. So jump is way above. Is that because we're technically still on the horse? I can't believe it's that high. I think we're probably still marked as being on the horse, otherwise I don't understand how we've got that. Anyway, I'll take it happily. Big jump is always a blessing, although I should mention that 40 is the maximum useful level for jump, if you didn't know. Anything above that is just for cosmetic purposes, wasted. That's everything on the gear. I don't have my voice of the master anymore, so we're going to lose end quest XP unless I remember to swap to the glasses that have it, which, knowing me as I do, I probably won't, but not to worry. What else have we got written here? We went through the enhancements. Oh yes, another really nice tip one of you mentioned was this business. The trouble I had deciding whether a boss was holdable or not, like with the petrify stones. One of you suggested that you can actually recolor the where is it? You can recolor the bosses. See there, name color, mini boss monsters. So I've gone for like a bright yellow color, so nothing anywhere near the red that would lead me to think it's not crowd controllable or killable or whatever. So now, whenever we see that or any kind of yellow color, we know they're able to be held or instant killed or whatever it happens to be if we have a high enough DC for it. And anything in red or indeed purple, we know is just going to be totally immune. So that's a nicer distinction. I think that default is like a sort of an orangey red colour, and it's a bit too close to the red one for most of us to discern. So thanks very much for the tip on that. I had no idea you could do that. Oh yeah, now this is a tip from one of the bear party. In the windmill quest, when you're trying to get the windmill to land on the summoned lion with the crystal in its head, that lion is extremely vulnerable to the trip attack. Even if your trip is fairly low, it's very vulnerable to that. So that's a really good way to crowd control that anybody can do. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And I think that's it. I should hope so, because we've got quite some questing to get through now. I'm going to be rattling through them as fast as I can, so as not to make for a massive long video. Let's just sell any wares that we've got while we're in transit. We'll call this the duty free shop. Why have I got that? I don't know. Gold cursed dagger. Why have we got that? I heard some good things about that actually in the past. Let's hold on to that. If anybody knows why I've kept the gold cursed dagger, I think I've heard something about it being good, either the legendary version or both. Okay. Let's get stuck into some questing. So for those of you who, well, this would fit right into another the sort of theme of the life so far, of doing chains that you wouldn't normally do. I've not done anything from, or hardly anything from Salt Marsh, which I would normally have done the whole thing. I've not touched Three Barrel Cove, and probably we won't at all, given that we're doing this. Reasons people would stay away from this chain, well, all the running around, especially before the advent of horses, people didn't like. I suppose that's the main thing, and the fact that around this level there are so many other compelling options, like the Three Barrel Cove, Fae. No, those two are a bit earlier actually. This is a 6 to 10 chain, and that's another reason people would stay away. A bit like Tangleroot, the level spread. So I've deliberately brought us in on an 8, so we can hopefully do the whole thing without having to break. Okay, so you'll see the strategy in action hopefully. At least one boost going every time we engage. hit the quick strike, so we're on a load of double strike. See the double strikes going off there. Healing key attack. Now one of you mentioned that even going into epics, the healing key, the healing fist or whatever it's called, is only healing for like 6 max. So at 2 and 4, 4 is on a double strike. At 2 and 4 I think we're doing well. I'm just a little bit sad that it doesn't scale. It doesn't seem to scale very well. Maybe a bit like the Spell Singer's mana regen, which seems excellent in heroic, but just falls off very badly as you go into epic. Now this trap, I'm sure, has accounted for many a person in hardcore. See the paralyzing going off very nicely. Look at that. So now we've got to be a bit wary around this. Although we do have evasion, so my strategy here is to go to the middle and sit there and then go the full way. An optional here. Okay, nice one. This one's for you, Mikey. You ready? 1 box broken. Certified. Oh, Misadventure's got as many breakables as I have. That's quite normal in our quests. That's one thing I'd forgot to do there. The fire attack, because our imbue, the candle imbue, is giving fire damage against something that you expect to stand up for a little bit, like those rock elementals. That would have been a nice one to throw in earlier to give a bit more damage from the imbue. So yeah, I'm guessing this is the side of it that people aren't that keen on, the sort of running to and from the quests. Normally oh, that's not cool. I was gonna say normally I would stop and engage these folk a little bit, but for the purposes of keeping the overall time down, I'm not dallying about. That's another illustration of actually it's rare to lose a save to be held like that in a wilderness area. We're going back the same way. There's just a couple of quests in there to start with, then we move areas. If you don't know the chain, the chain takes place in 3 different areas of this wilderness. The first 2 quests are in here down this mine. I'm just wondering actually, is the lack of featherfall going to come to haunt us in this one? Because there's one section where I would dearly love a featherfall item, and I don't think we have one on us. I'm pretty sure we don't. Nope. Maybe we'll pick one up in a chest, although I doubt it. I think I got one from an auction house last time for the odd times that I decided we could use it. So this time we're going for the key. We don't have to stop buy anything, do we? Okay. Oh, Reaper coming. All right. See, we've made a really reasonably short work of him. Now, that's one thing I didn't mention. The paralyze. I'm not going too far forward because I don't want to go in that trap. Is that lag? The, oh my god, right, Shuriken. That's encouraged you to come out, hasn't it? The paralyze can also paralyze reapers on occasion. So that's a real little bonus for us. Thrown the flame attack thing in there. Yeah, did you see the purple number on the flame there? It's not too much, but every little helps, as the saying goes. And it's probably a good habit to get into for later later questing when the effect will be more. Are we triggering this haste boost thing from the belt? Have we noticed that being set off yet? Is it black scale ferocity or something? There's our key. Just go straight through, I think, and fight everything that wants to in the end here. Come on then. Happy days. Okay, so that's the first stage. Now we have to go back and talk to the ogre to be allowed to go to the second one. So yes, you can see these shorter quests really play into our hands because we've always got one of these great boosts running. And it does make a big difference to how quickly you can dispatch the opponents. And in so doing, you're obviously taking a lot less pain yourself. And what pain we are taking, at least so far, we've managed to heal through. It's the kind of situation with... Oh, do we have to talk again? No. It's the kind of situation where, a bit like the plague... the Blight caster druid with the Death Eater thing, where provided you're not taking really spiky damage, you can outlast most things, most encounters. In his case, because every time he kills something he's getting these temporary hit points. In our case, every time we hit something we are, well, getting the body feeder for a start, and also the returning health from our targets that we've hit with the Fists of Light, which you can see keeping popping up. I think because we've got an abnormally high heal amp at the moment, mostly on the back of this Jid's Tetka thing combined with the strength stance, the sun stance, which is giving us 50 insight bonus to healing amp. That's helping the little incoming heals from the Fists of Light.
You have come to the den of the Grey Moon tribe. Signs of struggle are everywhere.
Come on then. Very nice. I think we still have the haste boost going. Come on. Loving the paralyzing thing. Yeah, you can see a very clear difference. Let's show you now. Look how much the key's gone up. We've got key to burn, so One fist of light, and then we'll wait till we're supposed to be out of combat like now. He's relaxed his stance and healing key. There we go. Back up to full. Beautiful. It's all I can do not to pick up all the souls. Oh, Reaper Edge. Hit the haste boost. Nice. See, that's the tactic against the Reaper. Just kill him before he kills us. And again, we're going to use this healing tactic. No target needed. As I understand it, as long as you don't perform any other actions in between, you can do it. Performing other actions can break the cycle and mean you don't get the special attack. I think that's what happens.
You hear heavy breathing and guttural laughter. The leaders of
Oh,
the Ogre collaborators.
let's go straight to the Reaper. And while the boosts are running, let's maul these things in here as well. Now there are things firing down on us from up there, so the deflect arrow I'm sure will have done a good job there. See how many misses and dodges we're getting there on the display. Oh, was there a lever to pull in there? No, I don't think there was. I've had to train myself not to be precious at all with these boosts. They're here to be used, so just get stuck in. Hammer them with everything.
Ogre collaborators are no more. Grey Moon's honor is at
Well, these things can be quite nasty, can't they?
the patrols might make you wretch.
But they are paralysable. Now, we can... I'm not quite sure what the best thing is to do. I think sometimes it bugs out if I call him to us, but the whole bridge is trapped. We do have the evasion, don't we? Let's call him to us. Let's use the Shuriken. 10,000 stars. So you can see our candle thing. Oh, I thought the candle should work on that. Maybe it's not doing. Or maybe he's immune, I don't know. A lot of misses there, people. Okay. Now this is the section I was afraid of. Because to avoid the traps, I tend to go... Actually, I don't think I tend to jump up on here and just jump down onto the side of the bridge and jump again, but it's going to be too far. So, I think we might just have to try and evade these beggars. Now what usually happens is people come down from... I was afraid of this. There's an optional, but it doesn't seem to trigger until you get to this side. One of the rooms, which you can't open, I don't think, before you get here, is a boss shaman that we're now going to have to go and try and kill. And either we got very lucky there and missed the traps, or the evasion helped us. I didn't see a save, so I think we just got lucky. Let's just check that jump score again. 39, so we were counted as being on a horse in that tavern for some reason. But 39 anyways, almost max, so happy at that. No boosts to use. Still, even unboosted, we were more than a match for him. Okay. This next quest, or the next part of this chain, I learned when our bear was doing, well, still has got a bard war chanter sickle build.
To the south
This next one can drop the sickle of Sephiroth, which has a very nice crit profile, especially for the level you get it at. I think it's a level 6, is it? It's got me wondering now, that shuriken, about does our candle imbue work with the shuriken? It should do, because it doesn't say only for melee, but I remember when I was firing on the witch in the witch hunt in the Feywild, just to get her to come to me, and she wasn't taking any additional damage from it either, which I just thought at the time, oh, she's immune to the fire damage, but now I'm not so sure, because that troll, surely a troll would take damage from fire. Let's test it here. Oh, that's working as intended, isn't it? Yeah, so it does work. Must have just been the boss immune to fire damage. And I think, as one of you said already, it is taking the extra imbue dice, that candle thing. The levels ramp up a bit like Tangle Root as we go through the chain. So it started off with level 6s, these are level 7s, and from when we go to the last area of the chain, there'll be 8+. So that's where we will meet our biggest challenge.
the stink of trolls lingers in the air. Ruku was
So the second time around,
to kill them all the
we
first
can pretty much run all the way to a certain point, to the point where those scorpions are. Would like to be able to pass unseen here. I haven't seen any triggerings of that haste
the gate on
from the
stands open.
belt, which has disappointed me a little bit, because that was one of the big reasons I took it. This is another area where I'm sure we'll be glad of our force imbue on the quarterstaff, so not to have it wrecked by ooze type stuff.
You'll have to search for a way to lower the drawbridge. The chasm's too wide to jump.
Go on, I think there's a chest over here. Oh no, there's sometimes an optional character over there, but he wasn't up. I took a big chunk there from that red crown. One of you was mentioning about the red crowns in the comments. My understanding is they can go straight through your fortification regardless of what you've got. Just going for the healing key. Gonna go straight for the jugular here. Oh no, we're not. There's a famine reaper down there. I was going straight for the boss, but now we're going to have to change plan, I think.
Lord Krabs, a cave lies ahead.
Talk about getting caught out. I wanted to. I normally go straight for the boss at the top of here and just ignore the other things, and we got well and truly
Alas,
shown the error of that strategy, didn't we?
Grey Moon Holdings no longer.
Oops. But still stood up reasonably well to the pounding we took, and gave a bigger one out in turn.
Your party has reached the deepest part of the Grey Moon Borderlands.
Nice one. So this is where the sickle of
Brother,
Sephiroth can be. Not this time. That would be quite a good one for an arty, wouldn't it? We've got an arty coming up next, and I think by default we're going to have to be a warforged, else we're not going to be able to heal. So that's something to
the south,
contemplate. Okay, got to go back and talk to the ogre again, and then he's going to send us on to the third and final area, staging area. For the record, I'm quite a fan of Sorrowdusk. I quite like the wilderness area. I don't mind running through it, especially, I mean, it was a bit much when you didn't have a horse, but now that we've got the horses, it's not that bad.
in the hollow to the north waits Ruku, elder of the Grey Moon tribe.
It's a bit of a change of pace. Mystical dried fish. I think that's from an old crafting system or something. Okay. Make sure you speak to him twice to pick up the next part of the chain. The number of times I've run off, having only done it once, and realised I can't get into the last part. So the third part, we wander back past the section we were at. And we're looking for a cave entrance on our left.
To the northwest is a tunnel leading to the top of the hill where the Moon Temple lies.
We can just march straight through the cave if I can remember the way. As I said, normally I wouldn't be zooming through quite so quickly, but I'm conscious that it's a reasonably long chain, so I want to cut down the time in between the quests wherever possible. So there are a couple now in here. The Temple of the Six, is it called?
Recently excavated and converted into an outpost of the Temple of the Six.
So here, if you don't know the chain, we just have to free some. Oh, I've completely forgotten the goggles. I tell you what, I'll just use them to find the odd secret door. I'm not even going to bother swapping it in for Master's gift. The bear, if she could see this, would laugh because I'm the world's worst at calling out when the quest is about to end for people who want to swap a voice of the Master in. But at least in my defence, I have no interest in doing the same thing myself here. It's just turns it into a bit of an aggravation thing. Oh, I forgot again. For the sake of 5% of experience, I'm not. Let's just run an extra quest or two at the end, eh?
The draggled
Maybe I could... oh, feared. Now that's where the third core of the sorry, the third tier of the Vistani would have helped us.
More grunts and pained yelps disturb the gloom, followed by cruel laughter.
So we're looking for a key at the moment for these jailer's cells. Okay.
Drawing blood and slivers of small cloven legs abruptly at the east wall.
We look almost pedestrian, don't we, when we don't have the haste boost?
A few tiny globs of something black and solid flew to the floor near
Actually, I should have been wearing the secret door glasses through here. I could have had a secret door bonus.
jailer dropped.
Nice one.
You now have the key to the
Okay,
ogre's
let's swap the glasses and we'll
battle
the
ogre
basic
shows out
premise
his
is you
cell and
just
leads to
open the
safety.
cells, speak to the ogres, free them, and it tells you in the description how many more you've got to go. Along the way there are secret doors to be found. It's only optional stuff, so I'm not going to bother going in there. But if you find enough of them, as I'm sure you're well aware, you get a little bonus to the experience at the end. There's one back here at the start. Two more to find. Swap the glasses back. Took a bit of a hit there from somebody. Healing hands. Wow, 430 now. Out of the side of the Reaper nerf. I think this is the last one. Perfect, and more by luck than judgment. I was actually wearing the Master's Gift glasses, so the purists will be happy with me there.
This mausoleum was recently excavated and converted into an
So we run back, not all the way back down. You'll be happy to know there's like a staging post here with another ogre to talk to.
battered and scarred ogre chieftain watches you from among the ruins.
Okay. So this is the second and last one in here, and then we get sent to the main temple for a few. I'm not sure why I'm bothering buffing, because a lot of them seem to have dispel magic type stuff, don't they?
The air in the outpost has grown frigid. A rasping voice growls up from the shadows, but you cannot make out the words.
I'm not even sure that haste boost thing from the belt is working. Doesn't seem to have triggered at all, does it? On the other hand, the body feeder is working very nicely, and the paralysing is being amazing on the weapon. The more I see of this, the better it seems to get. Seem to be having trouble facing the target. So this time around, no key needed or anything. We just blaze a trail to the central area.
Again, the voice calls from gloom. You are doomed. Go back and leave Sorrowdusk to the faithful. You are persistent, growls the disembodied voice. It will be your undoing.
Okay, now if I wanted to use the master's thing this time, I've got to remember to do it just before picking up the Librum. Maybe it'll be good practice for me to not have the master's gift slotted and to empathise more with other people who are using the voice and would like the extra bonus. So perhaps I'll learn to call it out a bit more. Okay, glasses on. Quest complete.
The 6 is yours. This
Okay.
mausoleum was recently excavated and converted into an outpost of the Temple of the Six.
This, I would imagine, is an element of for some people, you know, having to, between every quest, having to run back and speak to the person. Although I will say that the wilderness area is quite nicely done, as you can see, and if you didn't do the running around, you wouldn't see all this kind of stuff, the jungle, the vines, all this. So there is that too. So this time we bypass the cult thing entrance. We go along here. There can be a boss encounter here. You know if there's a chest in the middle there. So for the first one it has us going through the main entrance. For some of the others we have to go through a side entrance. I think the first one has us smashing up do we have to smash up so many altars? I think yes. I think that's the end objective here. I broke a box, but they were casualties of war. They were in the way of my lever. Those meaty double strikes. So, we're on the case of the altar breaking now.
You must destroy all the altars of the Dark Six. You have broken one of the altars of the Dark Six, but 4 remain hidden around the outer temple. They must all be smashed.
I can get healing key from an altar, that's nice. Go away, you lot. They have some... Are we just missing him? What's happening there? Okay. I'll take the heal. Right. That'll teach me to go flying along, won't it? Some of these crown casters can be quite nasty in here, so got to be remain vigilant. In fact, I'm saying crown casters. Every person just about in here can be a... Well, he's a caster, aren't they? Even the warriors are. We're probably about equal speed-wise at the moment with a 30% standard character. I only have 25% speed, run speed I mean, going on at the moment on the boots, and we don't have the Snow Peak thing slotted, but it doesn't seem to be doing us too much harm.
You have found the side exit of the temple. You can escape now.
Okay, so back to the
Miasma shrouds these ruins.
ogre. I was going to send us back here,
No more.
and I think you probably begin to see, those of you who don't know this chain,
The jungle
the biggest beef that people have. I suppose if you're running an XP potion, running like this in between quests, having time taken off your potion is not ideal. And I totally forgot the goggles again, didn't I? Well done me.
A battered and scarred ogre chieftain watches you from among the ruins.
Okay, are we going in the side entrance this time, or is this the main entrance still? No, it's going to send us around the side now.
The wrath that abated with the altar's destruction has returned
Okay,
threefold.
2 puzzles to do in this one to be able to proceed, and the way I like to highlight where I need to go is the 2 areas where the path crosses. So there's one there and one here that we can't quite see. That's where the puzzles are, and then we need to make our way around here, I think there, to the door that takes us further in. All the while the levels are ramping up, so we are going to take a bit longer to kill these, I'm guessing.
These runes have some arcane significance. Perhaps connecting them with the tiles will achieve some purpose.
Okay, let's get to number 2. For any AoE spell that gives a save, we're likely to be in a a decent situation against it, like there. Oh, hadn't noticed the Reaper. Well done, me. I think we've hit level 9. Look how much tougher the Reaper is now. That's going to cause a problem. Yeah. The Reapers have just ramped up. So at level 9 quest level and then level 11 on Reaper, the Reapers get a significant power boost. I'm sure most of you knew that anyway. But it's very noticeable. So now they've gone from kind of also rans to being definitely the most problematic things in any quest that we will do. Come on. Okay. I hope I'm not healing them with my candle thing like I did that time on an end boss. No, I think we're okay there. Right, let's get to that doorway. And there was a red crown in amongst that little lot that did a decent job on us. I should be able to heal that back. Nice. So that's a super little tip from you folks for using the healing thing out of combat. Thanks for that. Plague Reaper. Now there could be a problem. Paralyzed him, my word. Now that's something that could come to our rescue more, given the fact the Reapers now are going to be taking a lot of hits to put down. They'll be losing more wisdom, and because of that, they will be more susceptible to fail the save, I hope. Oh, I wouldn't say no to a shrine here, because we've run out of our big boost. Let's get up there while we're still boosted. See, no damage at all from the AoE, that's great. Evasion for the win. Where's our save at the moment? We've got 28 reflex save in Reaper, that's nice. A little chest around here. So yes, I would quite have liked, although I don't think that's kind of the meat of the thing, isn't it? I don't think there's anything too much. Is there just one set of mephits or something left? I don't think there's anything too much to worry about. Famous last words, I know. Let's put the glasses on because we're almost at the end. Sadly, we can't escape through there, so I think we're going to have to face these. Now see the difference, this will serve as a nice indicator. how much tougher it is without the boosts and on a higher level. I do have a healing hand here, should it be required. I think we're just about managing with the ticking heals from the Fists of Light. If we can stop missing. Okay. So yeah, it's ramping up noticeably now, isn't it? The level 9 quests and level 11 effective is a big deal, as my favourite phrase would have it.
A foul miasma shrouds these ruins.
Without the boosts, I think we would now be struggling, wouldn't we? Having said that, if we didn't have the boosts, we'd be investing points in other ways. Let's just stop for this this boss guy. Oh, come on. I think from memory, doesn't he give some kind of a monster manual thing? The boss there. I thought he did. Maybe I just missed it.
A battered and scarred ogre chieftain watches you from among the ruins.
Right, now we're getting to the tougher sections. I think we're going back into the main temple now. If memory serves, there are 2 to go. I mean, that's one of the things some people might not like. That's one of the things I quite like about this chain. The quests, once you get to know them, are all sort of bite-sized, aren't there? There's nothing here that's going to take you, 20, 30 minutes to get through. So these are now level 10. So any Reaper that pops up could be a big problem. And it's to our detriment that I haven't taken level 9, because we could have the whirlwind attack, the AoE cleave at 9, which would make a big difference to our fortunes, I'm sure. I look forward to testing that. But for the purposes of the video, we're sticking with what we have here. I do notice a shrine there in the middle, and it's quite possible we will be making use of that at some stage, maybe sooner than I anticipate. Okay, are there some on this side as well? No, I think we got all the mephits. Oh, crud. Oh, that's really bad. Healing hands. Healing key. Had we not had evasion there, those casters would have certainly torched us. We can just evade our way through these traps. Yeah, these, oh, nice, on a red crown, beautiful. And another red crown. Hammer him, go on. Come on. Yeah, the difference when that, another nice save on a nasty trap. Let's get this summoning thing down so we can stop them all from flooding through. Okay. Yeah, this is getting tough, isn't it now? Come on. Wow. Outlasted them. Let's just wait a second and use the... yeah, that's an example. I was going to use the healing key and then I collected something from the floor and that broke the sequence, so now I can't. I see. A healing potion then, eh? That's what they're for. Okay. Oh, crikey, I was testing the evasion and it didn't work out very well, did it? We rolled a 20 and saved it. Oh, did we have to make several saves? Ah, right, yeah, there were several saves there. One of them was a 2, a failure, okay. Okay. Not as concerned about this dart trap thing in here. Now, there is a shrine there. Are we going... Do we need to use the shrine now? No, I think we can make the end without actually using the shrine. Famous last words. I wish we could have a fire shield cold scroll here, because there's a nasty fire trap. Although, if evasion holds up, there won't be a problem. Actually, the hands have been used, haven't they? Let's do the sensible thing. Let's use the shrine. So many times, I'm sure I'm not the only one, I've gone flying on when the shrine was there to be used and paid the ultimate price. So at least now if we pay the ultimate price we can say we tried, and it's not like I have a raft of time taking buffs to cast, is it? So no excuse. In fact there's every reason to use these shrines. Those two to come back, the big boost that we use, the healing hands, every reason to use. Get that caster. 2 casters. We got him. Okay, push on. Take the curse off if we can.
Beyond the green guardians, the caves swelter with unholy.
I think we've still got a little bit of haste boost going. Oh, Reaper. Watching the haste boost out of the corner of my eye. Healing hands. Nicely outlasted, matey. Well done. So let's go and get the fire. Grab the other one quickly while the boost is still going. Come on. Nice. Okay. So sprint down through this section. And let's go for the last one. I'm not bothering with the glasses. I want all offensive power here.
Burning stone across the pool of lava aside.
And no Reaper, please. Oh no, no, not that. Who's just cast that? We got it anyway. Even if we die now, we're okay. Oh, it was you! Cultist sneaked in. Ah, it was one of those I sort of ran past earlier. Yeah. I see. So those healing hands coming in very helpful. Even with just the 1 point to invest in the racial tree to get those 2 things, that's been instrumental, as you can see, in helping us to survive. So on we go to the last one, and the last one for my money is not as difficult as that one. Do we want another chest? Aye, go on then. What the hell?
and scarred ogre chieftain watches you from among the ruins.
Okay. So again, for the purposes of the video, we've made it harder than it should have been. I am fairly convinced that that whirlwind thing would have made quite a difference to our fortunes in here. It had better have done, because we've paid 2 feats at the start to get it, when I could have taken something like deflect arrows or something, so it had better be worth its weight, that thing. Although, to be fair, the ones that we did take are providing valuable defense. The dodge bonus is one of our key layers of defense, and we are now at 19, so that's brilliant. See what I did there? Key layers of defense? No?
A deep
Okay.
and sonorous thrumming sounds from the temple's deepest reaches. The bishop's ritual has begun.
I wonder if we might have a chance of paralyzing these things, because I know these are pretty tough.
The chapel stands open. You sense that the bishop is taunting you.
Our imbue is not healing them, so that's good. Now the solutions to the puzzles can be found on either wall here. I'm not going to go into that just for the sake of time. Nice one. But the short answer is that every wheel gets pulled 3 times, with the exception of the yellow one, which, if I remember right, is 5.
The idol of the pure
That's another time we can be very glad that we've got AoE. Sorry, that we've got resistance to these AoE spells in the form of evasion. So that is the yellow one, 5. We do have a little bit of AoE in our strike through, and hopefully more to come with the much anticipated whirlwind attack. I can tell you those things from painful experience are nasty if you don't have the evasion. Well, they're pretty nasty anyway. As we get to the last one, you see the barriers up there at the moment. You'll hear like a soft gong when we trigger the last one, which tells you the barriers come down. At least if I shut up, you might. Let's just wait a second for the buffs to come off cool down, and then let's get stuck in there.
Bishop Zasha off. A foul mix of drow and sport. Zasha off.
Nice one. And we forgot to put the glasses on. Not to worry. Right. Now to go and see if the whole thing has been worthwhile. We're going to go back to the giant one last time, the ogre rather. And we're going to see if we have been lucky enough to find a snow star in the end reward list.
A foul miasma shrouds these ruins. The temple of the sick lies dormant no more. The jungle struggles to claim this corridor that obscures the gargoyle ambush.
So So given that we were, well, the quest level there would have been 12 on Reaper. So given all that,
A battered and
I think
scarred
we did
village
okay there.
among the ruins.
Now then, come on, Snow Star. I don't believe it. Oh my god. Oh dear. So what are we going to do now for a shuriken? Actually, that is a half decent monk item, isn't it? Although the garb of the spring winds is probably as good, if not better. %10 enhancement bonus to melee attack speed. That's not terrible, is it? We should probably take that. I think most of the stuff on the garb now is replicated by other things anyway. But what am I going to do now for a shuriken? It was supposed to be I'd built it all up, the quest for the Snow Star, and now look. Blood machete, what's that got on it? Oh, a rage. Right, we're taking the Quicksilver cassock because it's a good item for a monk to wear, I think. Might as well demonstrate that. So now we don't need the speed bonus from the boots anymore. Although it's still giving us heroism, the boots. Okay, and we're supposed to be attacking a little bit faster. Can we see that at all? Oh, look at that. Oh, that's nice. Oh, might have been worth it just for appearances. Is that a bit sort of purpley in appearance? Let's have a look. Yeah, we're liking this. Very distinguished. Worth it just for that, I think. So, we were foiled in our original goal, but we did at least find a consolation. And I'm still sitting here with these default shuriken. I'll have to have a little look in the manual and see what might be the next one that we could potentially try and grab. But that one was my... I was pinning my hopes on that one because it's got a really nice critical profile, that one. I've lost count of the number of times I've seen it, you know, in end rewards when I've not been looking for it. And Swords Law, the one time you actually want it, it doesn't appear. Okay, I'll stop waffling because this is already very long. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.